New Jersey voters head to the polls in 1 month for primary day.
Yeah, meanwhile, some teenagers there are pushing to lower the voting age. They're galvanized by 16-year-olds in Newark gaining the right to vote in school board elections. But in their perfect world, these teen activists would be able to vote in all local elections.
Yeah. As it so happens, the current voting age of 18 is a result of the work of teen activists in New Jersey back in the 60s. Pix 7's James Ford spoke with both generations about the Vote 16 movement now.
We believe that 16-year-olds should vote in all local elections. Give them a voice to be able to take control of their education and their own community.
16 and 17-year-olds in New Jersey talk about a right that thousands of them have now gained with help from adult advocates.
People from other states that want to know more about what's happening in New Jersey.
The Garden State now has the largest population in the country of 16 and 17-year-olds eligible to vote.
If we can encourage that, I think that'd be a good thing.
A significant endorsement from someone who knows a lot about lowering the voting age. For nearly 2 centuries in most of our country, 21 was the age people could vote. That changed thanks to activists in New Jersey starting in the late 1960s.
We were just college students. We were just kids.
Stuart Goldstein was one of 3 main advocates, along with David Duppel and Ken Norby, for lowering the voting age from 21 to 18 statewide in New Jersey.
We were lucky because of the media market we were in, New York and Philadelphia. We got a lot of press coverage.
And that attention resulted in other states following what the New Jersey activists were doing.
4 states in '69, and then the following year, there were 13 states.
And the year after that, their efforts led to the Constitution being amended, so nationwide, 18 became the voting age. Can activists for making 16 the voting age have the same effect? For starters, their work made it possible for people 16 and up to vote in school board elections in Newark. That started this past January. Days later,
Allow 16 and 17-year-olds to vote in local school board elections.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy called for the measure statewide.
I think that this has real momentum.
And State Senator Raj Mukherjee is sponsoring it. But there's a difference between what he's calling for.
We're limiting it to school board elections.
And what teen activists are trying to get.
Into municipal elections and, local elections.
They say the school board vote is just the start. But that's why the pioneers who got the voting age down to 18 have some skepticism when it comes to 16-year-olds.
They can take control of their lives. I don't think necessarily they have to vote in order to do that.
Another concern for one of the 1960s activists.
We're going to say 16-year-olds are good enough to vote in school board elections, but they're not good enough to vote for state legislators and governors. I think it's just a wrong approach.
His fellow activist says 16 is too low of an age.
They're usually under their parents' tax returns at that point, so it's not really a liability for them.
Still, he encourages school board voting at 16. Newark's most recent school board election was on April 16th, 4 months after 16-year-olds got the right to vote in it. However,
it just wasn't enough time for this to be done equitably.
An attorney who helped them win voting rights says, but she adds that the election was a dress rehearsal in Newark.
Get these government officials to get this implemented in time for next year's school board election.
And next year, statewide, activists hope that voting precincts like McNair High won't just be for adults. McNair High School here in Jersey City is a voting precinct. So what we're really talking about is having students here be able to vote in their school. And a student activist at McNair is looking beyond next year.
I think this can expand to not only New Jersey, but so many different states across the country.